So we've been looking at the wonderful Ashtavakra Gita. So let's look at verse 14 from chapter 1, where the sage Ashtavakra says, "You have long been bound thinking, I am a person." You have long been bound thinking, in quotes, I am a person. Let the knowledge, I am awareness alone, be the sword that frees you. So it is this thinking, which is, he says, you have long been bound thinking. So it is clear that the cause of bondage is this thinking. Now, it might seem like he is saying just this thought is trouble. I am a person. You see? But if you look at all of our thoughts, you will find that the presumption behind all of them is that I am a person. You see? The premise of thoughts is this personal identity. It cannot be that the premise is that God needs this thought to function as to what to do next, because God is confused. That's why the thought comes to help God with what to do next. Because if the thought would help God, the thought would be greater than God, isn't it? If there is something which is higher than God, if God needs advice from something, then that would be higher than God. So that is the ego's ultimate game plan, to be bigger than the Father. You see, but we'll get to that separately. So, you have long been bound thinking, I am a person. You see? So all of our thoughts, even in Satsang, have this presumption that I must be this individual separate entity who is now even getting the truth or not. You see? So if the thought is saying, yes, I'm really understanding this, who is it referring to? Yourself with the label of your name. You see? Yourself as a form. Still that one. So you have long been bound thinking, I am a person. You see? Then, as we have seen in the previous verses, we are the one solitary witness. This awareness. You see? So what does that need? What thought does that one need? You see? So to pick up a thought is to pick up the false conditioning, to pick up the lie. You see? Then the sage says, let the knowledge, I am awareness alone, be the sword that frees you. I like this expression very much because it is not the concept I am awareness which can free you. It is knowledge with a capital K. So let this seeing, let this insight, let this intuition that I am this awareness alone, be the sword that frees you. How can a sword free you? How can a sword free you? It cuts that which is false, cuts the lie. So once it is seen that I am awareness, then the lie of being a person gets cut away, is chopped away. Very popular terms in Satsang, chop your head off, cut off your mind. You see? So that is what it means. So this knowledge, which is direct seeing, not mental knowledge, you see, that I am this awareness alone, is the sword that frees you. You see? Therefore, to become free, what is needed? Only to cut off that which is false. You see? As we start to cut off that which is false, then the truth becomes more and more apparent on its own. You see? as we stop giving belief to the false, then the truth becomes inescapable. Yeah? Clear? Verse 15. You are now and forever free, luminous, transparent, still. You are now and forever free, luminous, transparent, still. This one is going to push some buttons. The practice of meditation keeps one in bondage. You are now and forever free, luminous, transparent, still. The practice of meditation keeps one in bondage. Let's take the first one first and then we come to the controversial one. So you see that again and again, over and over, in verse 15, already 10 times the sage must have said, you are this awareness. You see? Now what can we say about this awareness? Between free and bound, you will say free. You see? Between transparent and opaque, you say transparent. Between moving and still, we will say still. Why I am making the comparison is because no attribute by itself applies to this awareness. That which is no thing cannot have any attribute. But between this, in this world of opposites, when you have to speak, between the two, you will always pick transparent, still. You are now and forever free, luminous, transparent, still. The practice of meditation keeps one in bondage. How? Because most often it is seen that along with the practice of meditation comes the identity of the practitioner. See, bondage, as already has been explained, is only the idea that I am the person. Therefore, an action in itself cannot be bondage. An action in itself also cannot remove bondage. You see? So the action is just an appearance in this flow of consciousness. You see? So it is not the action in itself which is your bondage. It is to take up the identity, I am the person. And in this case, the identity that I am the practitioner or I am the meditator, which is the bondage. You see? The only bondage is I am a person. You see? And anything which reinforces that idea. You see, many of us have come across this idea that I am a great meditator, I have been meditating so much. You see? So this, when it is taken on with the meditator doership, you see, as a personal achievement, then that becomes bondage because it reinforces the false idea of personhood. You see? So any action which is done with a sense of doership actually reinforces the false idea of personhood. So the sage was trying to say that there can be this sense that if I meditate enough, you see, I have to bring my meditation practice from 5 hours to 10 hours, and if I am able to do that, then I will be free. You see, but in that what is missed is this sense of personal doership. There is still an I which is trying to get somewhere, become better at something, and practice meditation as if this false one, like the cat as I call it, will come to the freedom for the cat. You see? So that's why the sage says the practice of meditation keeps one in bondage. Verse 16. You are pure consciousness, the substance of the universe. The universe exists within you. Don't be small-minded. You are pure consciousness, the substance of the universe. The universe exists within you. Don't be small-minded. You are pure consciousness, we have been seeing for the last 3 days. When we check on our beingness, on our I amness, you see, what do we find? That it's now apparent. I am that I am. You see? I am this pure consciousness. What is the meaning of pure consciousness? You see, then you could argue with the sage saying, but how can consciousness become impure? Why do you say pure consciousness? Is it possible for this consciousness, which he says is the supreme power, can that become impure? You see? Therefore, the only meaning of pure now is that it is unassociated being. You see? Pure consciousness means it is not believing itself, pretending as if it has some personal attributes, personal conditioning, and it's coming to this I amness. Often we say in Satsang that anything that we say after I am is a story. This is what it means. You see? Quick one. I want to run through a lot of this.
Awareness, no, that is
Yes?
your awareness.
It's okay. Yeah. Yes. Now we are talking about if you've come to this realization, I am that I am. The ultimate realization is that I am aware even of this I am. You see? So I am ultimately, we can say I am that, which is this awareness. You see? But now the sage is talking about this realization of being. When that happens, I am that I am, is also beautiful coming to a beautiful realization. You see? So we must not, like my master says, don't feel that your beingness is some sort of a halfway house to freedom. Already in the realization of beingness, you cannot suffer in this worldly realm. Then your life becomes the life of God. You're leading life as if you are this God presence. You see? So it's a beautiful realization also. You are pure consciousness, the substance of the universe. You see? Then this also we've been discussing last 3 days, that it is the I amness that everything is made up of and everything appears within. So we've been checking, some of us, we checked this experience of the sound of the fan. Is it truly within me or is it outside me? And this me that we are speaking about now is the beingness itself. So we saw that it is in the light of this consciousness that everything comes about, and it is within this consciousness, the screen, as Bhagavan used to say, of consciousness, where everything is getting played out. So both the light and the screen are the same, which is this one consciousness. So it is this beingness which is the substance of this manifest universe. Everything is encompassed within this being. The universe exists within you. Don't be small-minded. You see? So this universe, the sage says from his insight, that all of this exists within this being, the space of being, as sometimes we say. You see? Don't be small-minded means which mind is this now? This mind. So in the Vedantic tradition, like we were discussing the other day, they use the term small mind and big mind. Small mind means this ego mind, this lawyer for the person, and the big mind means this consciousness itself. So this one is that in which everything exists. What does it mean to be small-minded? It only means that we believe ourselves to be that which the small mind is telling us we are. You see? So don't be small-minded only means don't behave as if, don't pretend as if. You can never become the small mind, but you have the power to pretend to be this separate individual identity. So verse 17, the sage says, you are unconditioned, changeless, formless. You are solid, unfathomable, and cool. 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 desire nothing, you are consciousness. You see? So then the unconditioned means that same, when I said pure consciousness, that means unconditioned consciousness. And we've been looking at conditioning. And often I have said freedom is the recognition of the true and the dropping of the false, which is the conditioning. And both are now. You see? Although the dissolution of the conditioning seems like it is a time-bound exercise, but actually in the now it is already gone. But it's a habit of picking up the false conditioning, which seems to take some time to dissolve. You see? Unconditioned, changeless, we've discussed this, formless. Although all forms come from this, it in itself is formless. You see? You are solid and liquid and gaseous. You are all there is already, you see. So any subservient definition we can ignore for now. Unfathomable. You see, then Adam once told me that a fathom was a measure, like a measuring unit. You see. So when they say unfathomable, you see, by the mind, it means that it cannot be measured by the mind. It cannot be fathomed this. That which contains the universe itself. Can the mind fathom it? You see, the best it will give you is some visual. You see, but the visual is also part of this manifest universe. You see? So it is not in the visualization or the imagination. The mind has really no tools to fathom this. But you are aware of your existence. Therefore, you must be something which is greater than the mind. You see, the mind. Okay, let's look at it like this. There is awareness, and we've experienced that there are states like sleep state where there is no manifest creation. There is no thing at all. And then, for some unexplained reason, for some unfathomable reason, although my favorite one is entertainment, there is the birth of this sense of being, the sense that I exist. Now, if awareness was all there is, then what must this being be made up of? Awareness only, no? We have had the direct experience that there is nothing, but I am there to have that experience. You see? Therefore, this sense of beingness also must be just another form of this one substance, which is awareness alone. That's why often I say that in reality there is no difference between awareness and consciousness, but in qualitative seeming it seems like they are different. Just like in reality there is no difference between water and ice. You see, but if somebody splashes water on you versus throws an ice cube at you, there is a difference, isn't it? Qualitatively experienced. So fundamentally there is no difference, but in the qualitative seeming it looks like there is a difference. You see? So then what happens? This consciousness is now present. We've already seen that within this being. So my advice is don't listen to these words as if they are beautiful poetry. You see, they can be very attractive like that. You must take the words and you must use them, and for your direct checking, is this true for me right now? Is it not true that everything that is being experienced is it being experienced only here? You see? Here means not constrained by the body, but here within my being, in the light of my being, we must get the direct experience of these things as the sage is speaking them. You see? So, you are this unfathomable one. Now, in the realm of appearances as it comes, with everything coming, one of the appearances is also this mind. You see? The energetic construct of thoughts. So Bhagavan used to say a bundle of thoughts is the mind. You see, we also bundle similar energies like imagination, memory, all these things, let's call it mind. So this one, you see, I'm using a metaphor, don't take it too literally. It is like the grandson. There was awareness within which this consciousness came into shape. As many thousands of energetic forms came, there also came this energetic construct called the mind. So it is the grandson of awareness, isn't it? Now can the grandson tell you authoritatively where the grandfather was born? No, only from hearsay, from just conceptual, you see, because it was not there. That which is later cannot profess the birth of that which was before, isn't it? So that is why we cannot rely on this mind to be our guide to the truth. You don't need that mind because you were there, you are there, you are that. You see? So the mind, when it tries to play the guide, we must ignore that, especially in the spiritual sense of things, because it cannot be fathomed by the mind. It will give you some cheap representations, paintings of awareness and paintings of consciousness. But those will never represent in reality what you are. You see? That is why it is important to make the point that it is unfathomable. Unfathomable by what? By the mind. Cool. Somebody has a good idea about this cool? It's really supremely cool. But the sage said, you are solid, unfathomable, cool. We should look at the original Sanskrit and see where that cool is. Unconcerned, yes. This is a good one. It is not concerned by the play of the manifest universe. You see? This is a good one. So, in the sense of, even aloof is not the best word for it, but aloof, like I'm so cool about things, it doesn't matter to me, you know, it should be like that. So, aloof or unconcerned by the workings of this manifest universe, not trying to go towards a particular outcome at all. It's very good to see, my feeling is always to read things fresh. So when I'm also reading, I'm enjoying things. Cool, okay. Desire nothing. You are consciousness. Now, as consciousness, what could you desire? Everything that is appearing is already within you. What lack can you have? What discontentment can you have? That is why it is said that this discovery, I am that I am, this I amness, you see, is full of contentment, joy, peace, ananda. That is why it is said like this. But allow yourself to settle into this. Don't mix it with desire so quickly. The mind will come and say, okay, if you really saw it, where is the bliss? Where is the bliss? You see? So that itself then becomes from unconditioned to conditioned immediately. You still take on that persona of somebody who wants a byproduct. Consciousness is not asking for the bliss. You see? So, as you allow yourself to relax into this simple allowing, you find that there is no what's in it for me. The sense of desire starts to dissolve. And as the pull, this magnetism of this Mahamantra of the ego, what's in it for me, starts to dissolve, you find that your true servants of love, peace, joy, all these appear to serve you. So we don't have to desire anything. If it is still about desire, all desire is personal in that way. You see? Even the desire for freedom ultimately is personal. You see? But I say sometimes that it is, if you have to have a desire, then at least if there is a spectrum of auspiciousness, have the desire for freedom, because at least with this one, you will come to the end of desire. You see? If it is the truest urge, you will come to the end of desire. With everything else we've seen, okay, this one, I got this, now what next? I got this, then what next? When you come to the dissolution of that which is false, then the what next will drop, you see. What's in it for me, what next? All this starts to drop. Then life seems full of ease. Even if it seems full of activity, even if strong seeming events are happening around you, you will find that it is full of ease. You will discover that as consciousness,